Hello, it is Imani. Welcome to my channel. Pink strawberry jam. Does my hair look decent? Hopefully. I need to retie it soon. I don't know. I might do a retie and chat. But today I am going to talk to you guys about how I accidentally lost like 40 plus pounds. Yeah, because apparently it can just happen when you're not paying attention and you're changing things, and then you're not really, doing it consciously, and poof, there it goes. And then next thing you know, your mom's accusing you of being like, hey, what are you doing? Are you like on Ozempic? I was like, I don't even know how to get that. And I'm just like, no, but that definitely made me look out for a minute. And I was like, wait a minute. Now that I'm looking at myself, I do look a bit different, but I just kept doing what I was doing and I lost even more weight. And now I'm here to share with you guys. And right now I am still on my journey, but hey, I'm doing a little something that's good with me, and hopefully it can help other people. So I wrote some things down and let's get to it. Okay, so I'm going to save you guys the long, extended, detailed backstory. If you want one, you can request it. But I think the underlying thing of it all was emotional healing and really just focusing on my mental health. I started prioritizing it. I think even in my mind, after one particular conversation with my mother, I was just like, something clicked. Not that I knew it necessarily. This is looking in hindsight. And I was just like, yeah, I just want to start taking a bit more care of myself, because I always thought that I loved myself and I had self-confidence, and I did, but I definitely knew that I had some things that I wanted to, improve upon. So that's what I started doing. But, some of those things included like family, patience, somewhat of a scarcity mindset, and ultimately comfort eating from years of, being, I don't know, a loner. I don't even know for sure. I mean, I have ideas, but, I have to dig into my own hang-ups and stuff to, just kind of have a different mindset about things, because this isn't the first time I've ever tried to lose weight, but it's never been in a sustainable, healthy way, and it would just backfire. So when I actually looked deeper into some things, I just changed my mindset, and I think your approach to things can really, change sustainability of it. And just like you have a different morale and motivation, it's more intrinsic. It's just different. And once I decided to translate that emotional well-being, I was trying to do into the physical realm that I had neglected for a minute, because I also do have like a history of being athletic. I mean, I used to be in color guard and cheerlead and then go to the gym. Like, I used to go to the gym before high school, that type of thing. But then COVID happened, and then I went to college and I had a lot of freedom, and it was just it was just a lot. So yeah, I blew up. But that's, you live and you learn, is what it is. But I was just like, okay, I am just tired of neglecting this side of myself, because I also kind of was reminiscing about how it would make me feel like just being active. It's just, it just puts you in a different mindset, and it boosts your ego. I'm not gonna lie, it does. It boosts your confidence, it boosts your ego, because it's just like, look, if I can do this, that, and the third consistently, why can't I do all these other things consistently? If I'm putting in this work, and I'm seeing it, my body, what's to say that I can't put in the work in other things and see the results of that? Even if it takes a moment, because all of these things, it felt like a blink of an eye to others who weren't there. But to me, I was doing these things for a while, but I wasn't conscious of it, so it didn't feel like super long. But it was just like, okay, like, what you put in is going to come out to a certain extent depending on, you know, your method of things. So it's just a different type of mindset, and I wanted to get back into that, as well as I wanted to get a life. Like, OMG, because I didn't really have any friends because I used to move around a lot, and then COVID and all that stuff, and I only had a few. I can count on my hand, and by on my hand I mean 2. I had 2 friends. And then, you know, a bunch of stuff happened during COVID, and then I entered college, and I was like, okay, I want to make friends, I want to do this, I want to do that. I freaking shaved my head bald. Like, I was really going through it. I was just like, yeah, I'm just ready to become a new person. Like, I'm over this, I'm tired of this. And like, don't get me wrong, I was still becoming a new person while I was still heavily eating, because just because you're bigger or anything like that doesn't mean it should stop you from achieving your other goals. Just because you can't achieve this one right now doesn't mean you shouldn't still push yourself and challenge yourself in other ways, you know, because then when you do finally reach that physical goal, you'll be even more well-rounded. That wasn't necessarily my mindset at the time. I'm just generally a person who, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm always, you know, at the very most, just base level confident in my abilities and what I can do. So I've always been pretty grateful that I naturally am like that, and it was a bit instilled in me. So it's just a bit of a boost when I do these things that reinforce that to make it even stronger. And I want other people to do that too. But yes, when you get a life, you are busy. You don't have time to sit around and eat all day, you know, like you're ripping, you're running because you got to be here, you got to be there. Like, when you're making friends, when you are trying to network, when you are trying to find new hobbies and other things. Like, I know a lot of people say they eat because they're bored, and I'm like, you're bored because you aren't putting yourself out there and you aren't doing other things. Like, of course you're gonna be bored if you're only scrolling your phone, but it's like, who's to say you can't be watching a YouTube video while also doing something else, like with your hands, to keep you busy, to keep you stimulated? Because that's probably what you're looking for, stimulation. I mean, at least that's what I was looking for, because, you know, the dopamine and all that stuff, you know, the taste buds, we all get it, the parasites. So it's like, okay, well, when you're busy and you have things to do, your mind isn't stuck on what is your next meal. Okay, so that's one of my number one things, just because when it's an extrovert's world. Sorry, not sorry. Like, I'm a bit introverted myself, but I became more extroverted because I wanted to, and because it's going to benefit you in the long run. That's just, you know, it's a reason they say it's who you know. So what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? All you have to do is make a decision now. But yeah, you can do all those things to replace aimless eating. Like, you're just eating to eat because you're not doing anything. Or if you're just always in your room, you're always in the comfort of your bed, it's like, okay, it's easy to go right to your kitchen and just sit down or lay down and just eat, you know. But if you're out and about and you're doing things, then you have to think about, okay, where do I want to eat? Do I want to spend that money? Where am I right now? Do I really want to eat that? Da 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 da. So it's like, okay, well, I also have food at home. So it just takes a little bit more effort if you're out and about and doing things to aimlessly eat, unless you're like always bringing snacks along, you know? Okay. And also, being in a walkable city is top tier. Like, while I'm at home, it's not super walkable. It's like kind of dangerous. But when I'm on campus, it's like everything, you can boom, 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 hit it. And when I'm living on campus, everything is within like maybe like an 8 to 25 minute walk, depending on where I'm going. So I say walk everywhere, like, if you can, because even when I had a car, I was still deciding to walk, because one, I don't have time to deal with the parking people. I just don't have time with it. Like, I have a parking pass in one spot, I'm gonna keep it there, and if I can walk somewhere, I'm just gonna walk, because I don't feel like dealing with it. Okay. And then another because I just thought, I don't need to absolutely have, I don't have to have everything at the most convenient level possible. And that's another tip, because I feel like, especially as Western, people, as Americans and whatnot, we are used to convenience, and it makes sense. We have Amazon that today, it's not even today anymore, but I'm not gonna get into that. And yeah, we're just very used to the instant gratification of it all. But I think when we work on that, it will, one, decrease our, what is it called? That yo-yo dieting effect. Like, you're only eating like 5 carrots a day, and then you're suddenly like eating a whole cake, kind of like that. Like, you're going from extreme to extreme. So it can just be a lot when you're looking for results like that. But yeah, I would just say walk to events, the gym, the mailbox, etc. Just walk everywhere. I say if you're gonna have one of those campus scooters, go ahead, but just watch yourself, because you don't want to get too caught up in having every single thing be that quick. Especially if you're trying to lose weight, that's just an easy way to double up on physical activity. Like, it's just like, when people are like, oh, walk up the stairs, instead of take the elevator. Like, it's just another way. So yeah, and I say that find other ways to walk a bit easier. Like, I know I see my boss, she has like a standing desk. I thought about when I'm older, I'll get a standing desk and a walking pad underneath, so when I'm doing things that I can focus on, I can still just do a light walk. Like, just finding ways to still be a bit more physically active throughout the day. I think my package just got delivered, or someone in the house package just got delivered. But where was I at? Oh my gosh. That one of the best things you can do also is to start looking at the mental health benefits, because I know when we're trying to lose weight and whatnot, you can do it for vanity reasons. Like, I did it for vanity reasons as well as mental health benefits, and because I want to have like a level of fitness, so I can like flex on people and outrun you or whatever. So yeah, I'm just saying that it always helps to have extra reasons to be doing something. That helps with sustainability, I feel. So that's why I mentioned the emotional impacts, because when you realize that, I think that helps you come back for more, because sometimes when you take a long break, you start to kind of notice the decline in a way. So you just notice different things. So when I did, take all of these things into account, my background and wanting the mental benefits again, I was like, okay, I know that I kind of like to do things earlier in the day. I've always kind of been like that. Like, I want to get my work done earlier in the day. I want to, just do things, I guess, because I'm more energized. Maybe the later on in the day, the more I'm just like ready to get snuggled in bed. But yeah, so I decided I'm just gonna wake right up. I'm gonna go to the gym, or eat breakfast first and go to the gym. And that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. And then I did that like 1 to 3 times a week, and while there, like, at least for my campus, we had classes, so I would experiment with different classes and with different workouts while I was there. And I would also do other things that piqued my interest, like hiking and trails, because I like nature. I like the beach and stuff like that. So I would just try and, figure out what I liked, because that's going to keep you coming back for more if you like it, instead of just doing something because you heard that it's good for weight loss. Like, yeah, you can do deadlifts or you can do Pilates and all that stuff, but if it doesn't really make you feel like you're having a good time, like it's more of an activity or something for fun, like you're moving your body. Yes, you can still recognize the benefits it's going to give you, but you also kind of want to like it. So you know, like I just say, yeah, that's another big tip. You need to like what you're doing. Like, news flash, because I don't want to run, you know, not super often, so I'm not going to join the track team. And then I'm going to be like, yeah, exercise is miserable because the only exercise I'm doing is running. But if I like to dance, I'm going to dance, because then I'm like, yeah, I like to work out. And I'm thinking about dancing because I like dancing. Yeah, and that's okay, you know, figure it out. Figure out what works for you. Like, I be playing Just Dance, Dance Central. You know, I like my walks. I did Pilates for a minute. I like it, but I don't like it as my main form of working out. I do like to lift weights, but I don't like super heavy lifting. You know, you just have to workshop what works for you. And I think because I didn't have a strict time limit as well, because I know a lot of people are like, okay, well, I want to lose 50 pounds in 5 months. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's great and that's fine, you know, but that does give you a bit more of a crunch time to figure out what you like to continue doing it, because once you reach that goal to sustain that, you know, I guess then you could figure out what you like, you know. But you know, whatever works best for you, because I also just want people to lose weight and be able to maintain it, you know, okay. But yeah, so once I started going to the gym and I had all my emotional stuff in check, I was like, okay, let me start looking at my food a little bit differently. And I wanted to be able to fuel my body and my mind, because I'm a college student, you know, and I'm a little bit of a partier, just a tad. So I have to be able to balance it out, or like feed myself and fuel myself in a more balanced way. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna start eating more balanced meals, because, you know, I know that every now and again I am gonna have those impromptu times that I just want to go out with my friends, you know, and like grab chips and dip, you know. I'll go out to the movies randomly. I'll do all these other things. So more times than not, you know, when I'm not doing those things, I should be eating balanced meals. So when I do those things, it kind of balances out a bit, you know, because it's not like I was eating all of that then and now. I'm just eating all of that now. So you can take that into account. But also, when you start working out, it balances out your hunger levels. And I think when you start being busy, you also realize that your hunger levels might be different. Because mine, I feel like when you're eating just to eat or for comfort or whatever, it's like, okay, it's easy to ignore your actual hunger cues. But when you do, it might not be as big as you think it is. And also, if you do realize that it isn't as big as you think it is, you're also going to be saving on having thoughts about your food, because if you get a meal, you can eat that for like 2 meals. You know, when you start, you know, slowing down and eating, and you're like, okay, wait a minute, I actually don't need to finish this whole thing to feel satisfied. I feel satisfied right now. So I guess I can just save this for another time. So you're saving money, you're saving food, you're saving energy about thinking about food. Okay, now, am I starting to make sense? Like, it all started to click to me after I realized, after my mom accused me of Ozempic, I was like, wait a minute, let me actually think, what have I been doing subconsciously? And then I brought it to my conscious, and then I tweaked it. And that's what, you know, that's what worked for me, but who knows? You're just gonna have to figure out what works for you. But yeah, and I would say just figure out what you prefer is a game changer. You know, like, I can't tell you everything, but if you have any more questions, I can answer them for you, because right now I'm consciously trying to lose weight and trying to tweak it, so it's a bit different. So I'm kind of learning along the way, which is why I have the series of, you know, what I eat in the week with you guys. Like, I want to just show you guys what I'm doing, or at least trying to do, and you guys will see the tweaks along the way. And I will always recommend other forms of measurement. Like, yeah, you can do the scale, But I would say also keep in mind like the way your clothes fit, maybe measurements, the way you're feeling, your muscle definition to keep you going, because I know sometimes scale can be discouraging because we fluctuate. If we're women, you know, we have our periods and that changes things, and it can just be different things that can affect us. So we don't want to always just use scales at times, because I think it can be a little bit discouraging if you feel like you're doing a lot of things right. But I do say do not be scared to, you know, to test that, because it is there for a reason. But if you cannot mentally, because I've been there before, that I just couldn't mentally, like I couldn't mentally do it. I get it. So other ways first, but you know, maybe one day you can work your way up there. And I just also want to say some restriction is okay. Like, I know that a lot of people, when they hear restriction, they think, you know, extreme dieting and all that stuff. But that's never what I mean when I say restriction. When I say that, I hear portion control, you know, and just like being patient with your food, not feeling like, you know, you have to finish everything immediately or just because it's on your plate. And it gives you time to think, okay, is this worth what it does to me? Because, you know, does it make you lethargic? Does it break you out? Does it make you this, that, and the third? Like, just some restriction is okay, because if you want to focus on your well-being and other things, you know, your goals and whatnot, sometimes you just can't do everything. You know, some people, when they say I eat what I want whenever I want, yeah, but theirs is different from others. Sometimes, like, sometimes that'll be pizza, and other times that'll be like pizza, salad, pizza. You know, it just depends on who you are. Some people, you know, you can't just eat a couple of chips and then be done. Some people would just have to eat the whole bag, you know. So everyone's restriction levels will look different, but I don't think restriction in and of itself is something bad, especially if you just know yourself. Like, it's just, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And just the amount of patience, mercy, and perseverance you have to do this, I think it translates into other areas of your life. So it just increases your confidence, your self-efficiency, your compassion for others and yourself, your empathy for others and yourself. Like, you're going through your journey and you're figuring it out. Like, if you hit the emotional, the physical, you know, you're just pouring so much into yourself, and then you can pour that into others if, you know, you feel like they also pour into themselves, because don't pour into, you know, a bottomless cup, in my opinion. But yeah, just, I hope that everyone can take something from this video. I know that I'm just a 22-year-old who accidentally did it, and now it's purposely trying to do it to you know, try and give you tips. But I'm just, you know, I'm just trying to help. I'm just a little girl trying to help. So I hope I did, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, or you have any other requests. I mostly do fashion and fitness. And thank you for watching. Mwah.